Hey, good evening, Maria, back with another video. It's 6:24 p.m. It is June, I believe, June the 23rd, okay? And the sun's getting ready to go down, and I'm just kind of relaxing here in my bed. I just made dinner, and, it was one of those days where, I felt like I didn't really get a whole lot of stuff done. I did get some stuff done, but I'm tired of being cooped up in the house and I'm really bored and I'm just sick of the routine, okay? But anyway, I wanted to come on here and make this video to just kind of recap some of the things I've been talking about in my last videos. And, I do feel like it's therapeutic for me to talk about this issue because it has caused me a tremendous, I can't even describe the tremendous stress, anxiety, depression that it has caused me. And I know that there's a lot of people who, they don't understand, and I can't understand why they don't understand. It just, it's basically if somebody says, leave me alone, and you don't stop, you don't leave them alone, and you continue to do what they're doing, then it's harassment, plain and simple. And, obviously I'm not comfortable with my ex-family or Joel's family contacting me, whether that be directly or indirectly through like employers or whatever. And so, my biggest issue is the residual bullshit that got started on Facebook 2008. Now, obviously, like I said, I entered Facebook, and then there was this big blow up, and then people were being directed to my page, and then there was all this gossip that went on around town that was completely unfounded. And then I ended up dealing with drama that I got dragged into, drama that I didn't deserve, okay? And no one should have to deal with this sort of thing. And it has cost me just about everything that I ever cared about, okay? So, I just wanted to come on here and make myself very clear that I do not want any more fake job interviews. I don't find it funny. I don't think that I resent the fact that the people who got involved in this minimize my my reaction to it. It is it's instinctive. It's not like I'm like telling myself, make a big deal out of this, feel threatened when they do this. My biggest issue, I want to put this in perspective, okay? I have been mobbed and out of many jobs throughout the years, okay? And I didn't understand like why all this stuff was happening, but obviously I have my blood relations like to pick at me. They like to tease me. They may or may not disagree with what I do or whatever, so they like to bring these issues into the workplace, okay? And they do this through other people. And, there were times where things were going fine and then boom, all of a sudden, whatever. And, people can have disagreements, okay? But this is not how you handle it. And also, I've already mentioned that I'm over the age of 18 and I have the right to live my life how I want to. If you really felt as though I needed to get constructive criticism, that is not the way that you do it. You do not do this through other people, okay? And then they talked about, me having a child out of wedlock many years ago, and they use this as some sort of way of judging my character and basing it off of who I am now, and it's not the same, okay? It really isn't. But whatever the case is, I'm going to tell you, I'm not saying that I am, the perfect person or anything. I have made mistakes in my life, okay? But I don't believe, and I know that nothing warrants someone losing their job or somebody feeling as though they're taking control over someone's job or taking control over someone's life, okay? Like in the matter that they did. Now, when I was working, my last job that I was working, I had just moved out of my, I left my ex-husband and I moved into my own apartment. And I noticed that I knew that I was being monitored by neighbors and I didn't appreciate it. And they kind of made it known because when you're in on like an inside joke, people get giddy and they start to kind of tell on themselves because it's such an exciting thrill for them. That they spill the guts on themselves. And, first of all, I'd like to say, when it came to me moving into my own apartment, I left there with nothing. I didn't even have a microwave when I first moved into my apartment. So slowly but surely, Once I left the manufactured homes place, then I started working over. It took me about 6 months to get another job. Okay, it was crazy. It took me 6 months to get another job, and so where am I going with this? Oh yeah, so then I had to build up little by little. Like I had a queen size bed that had already been infested with bed bugs, okay, which you can take care of that. But my queen size bed was also dipping and it was causing me a lot of back pain. So I wanted to get myself another bed. So I ended up getting a new bed. Okay, mind you, it was not one of those expensive beds, that adjust or anything fancy that a lot of other people have. And I'd like to stress that I do believe that if you can afford a quality mattress like that, I think it's something that you should invest in. Why? Because that is the piece of furniture that you're going to be on longer than any time of the day. Okay, and so that's something that you should make sure that you have. Okay, now I would say this bed is pretty firm and it seems to be suiting my needs. I haven't had any problems with it. My biggest issue is you can't rotate it. Like I'm used to rotating mattresses and that sort of thing. You can rotate it head to foot, but you can't flip over the mattress. Okay, and that's becoming very common with a lot of mattresses. Anyway, I digress. This mattress is decent. Okay, it's a memory foam. Okay. So I bought that. So I got some new linen because, obviously I went from a queen to a full. And so I bought some new linen and I bought things for my house. Like I needed some more space, right? So I got some little shelves. I'm talking about $19 here on Amazon, $16 here on Amazon. Ding, 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 ding. Necessary things for my home. Okay. And plus, of course, I did buy some things, but I didn't buy anything lavish. Okay. I wasn't extravagant in any way. Okay. And let me tell you this, even if I was, okay, why this makes it a human trafficking slave type issue is because this sort of monitoring is preventing me from living my life, and that's wrong. Okay. Now, some people want to earn a paycheck, and instead of investing in a home, every fucking Friday they want to get into a car and they want to hit Vegas and they want to gamble. Now, like I said, I don't gamble. I find Las Vegas absolutely boring, but this is what we work to fuel our interest, our likes, our lives, okay, and whatever that might be. And so maybe, some people might want to invest it in a house, and I think that's a wise decision. If, you're going to stay in that house and it's going to, whatever. But people do what they want to with their money, okay? I don't believe that. I personally think that, if I was to go grocery shopping and then people are sitting here looking at what I'm buying and then there's reporting all of this stuff. I remember a neighbor one time coming up to me as I was walking out. I was minding my own business, got out of my car, got my stuff into my little basket, and then I was wheeling it into my house, minding my own business. I was trying to be very quiet about it, got into my parking lot and was going to walk to my house. And then she opens the door and she says, "Oh, you went and got good groceries." I don't appreciate being monitored that way. Okay, I don't appreciate people being nosy and gawking and then having this and then basing it on what I get to do for a living. Okay, that is discrimination and it's bullying. Okay, so you have to tell people what they're doing is wrong. Okay, these are the same tactics that were used in Germany. Okay, and to target people, and it's bad. Okay, because it creates you don't get a community to assist in this sort of harassment. It's wrong. Okay, now I have been inconvenienced, traumatized, and first of all, I'd like to say, why I have made the decision to say it, and I mean it, okay? It's hard for these people to understand. How could she mean that she wants to sever ties after all, we're her family? Well, let me explain to you why, okay? Because, I do believe that you had access to my videos long before I mentioned it directly to you, okay? Because I sent it to all my bosses. I sent it to everybody, okay? People in this community knew that I was, going through this and I had sent videos. People knew I was making videos, okay? And you knew that all of the things that you were doing were causing me psychological distress. you knew that it was causing me trauma. You knew when you harassed me out of the job over at the farmer's place that that was traumatizing to lose your job, okay? Especially when I was comfortable working there for a very long time. And so I started looking for work. And then you decided to spread this all over the community, okay? And then not only did you want to spread this over the community, you wanted to basically try to like rub things into my face and continually badger and harass me after I had basically lost everything that I owned. Okay? So when you deal with that sort of, and it is abuse, okay? It's abuse, okay? Especially seeing how I did nothing wrong. I didn't do a damn thing wrong, okay? And to have people monitoring, you know, oh, she's buying packages, she's getting packages sent to her home. No shit, this is what people do. Everybody, people buy from Amazon all the time, okay? You know, if I need to buy, and I had to buy shit for my house. Like I said, I hardly had anything when I first moved into that little place over in that little duplex or whatever, okay? This is what you do, okay? You work for your money, all right? You may not like the fact that I went to Trader Joe's, okay? And that's your choice. But I have a right to do that. I have the right to buy wherever I want to buy. And this is the form of bullying. It's like you're basing what I do. You basically want to make me, and I do. I've hated the jobs that I worked. You know, the jobs I worked for you, I absolutely hated. And the reason why, it's not just the bullying that became more obvious. As, you know, I would say became more obvious when I started working over there in Buttonwillow, okay? But it's the fact that, you know, I work my hardest, I don't get credit for my work. You know, there's always this constant childish bullying that's going on, even if in the slightest form, okay? And it gets to the point where it's like, no, you know, I'm a woman who works hard, and I do care about my work, okay? And, you know, maybe you didn't realize that I was going to grow old. Maybe you thought that you had the right to plan my entire life for me. Like I was going to just be stuck married to somebody who psychologically abused me. That's not the way it's going to be. Okay. I would rather blow my brains out than be with somebody who's going to treat me that way. So I made a decision as an adult, which I had the right to do, to leave. Okay. And so when you like this, I just recently had some job interviews. I think I had like 3 job interviews in the last 4 weeks. Okay. And they were all fake. And I'm going to ask you the last time, I don't want to do it anymore. And I do feel as though my life is threatened every time somebody calls me on the phone to play these stupid games. I don't have time for it. Okay, what is it that you're doing when a person has lost everything, who has been cheated, who has obviously and unjustly been treated, and you're calling in here to make some sort of light joke out of it? It's not a joke. It's not a joke. Okay, it is human trafficking. Okay, it's some weird people who got religiously warped and are going after a person and going around making people violate all kinds of laws to traumatize a person. Okay, it is traumatizing. Okay, I shouldn't have to feel like I'm afraid to go walking outside because they're going to make it so that I can't get a job because, and I'm sorry, that's bullshit. Okay, it's like, how far do you think you can take this bullying? It's wrong. It's wrong. You know what I mean? I have the right to go for walks. I have the right to, you know, go out on a bicycle ride. I have the right to go to the park, which, you know, I like going to the park. I have the right to do these things. And what you're doing to me is you're bullying. You're the one who pointed me on Facebook. I didn't appreciate that. You know what I mean? I know how to dress at work. And I resent the fact that you sit here and you monitor me, whether it's through these people who are contacting me or whatever. I don't appreciate it. Okay, I don't appreciate your presence. I choose not to deal with it. I find it disturbing. Okay, if a person says they're divorced and you continually want to hoover around a person and be around a person or have people act things through you, you are stalking me, and I don't appreciate it. Okay, and obviously I made over 1,200 videos on this. Why? Because this psychological disturbance, I'm not faking it. It is extremely disturbing to me. Okay, you disturbed the quality of my life. This is my life. Okay, now I know that maybe, you know, I think Jeff, my ex-brother-in-law, seems to think that he wants to play matchmaker. I have no desire to play any sort of matchmaking games. I don't want it. Okay, I'm a person who is serious. I feel like my going to work is serious to me. That's all I care about. I don't, if I find it offensive, and it's a form of sexual harassment to play these sort of games and then have other people participate. I'm not interested in meeting or dating anybody. Okay, that's not how I choose to be fulfilled in life. Now, I was on a website and I was talking about what is it that I want to do in the future. And, you know, I remember when I was, you know, raising my son, there was a lady who had been divorced, and, you know, she remained unmarried. She met people. She had people of all ages, and they would come over to her house. They do arts and crafts. I even myself went over there to have arts and crafts. We would go to the park. We would do all kinds of stuff together. And it was like she had a bunch of friends, and she was fine with that. And I remember many years ago when I lived in different places, you know, I had people coming over. Now, they were probably perps. I didn't realize this at the time. But still, I had a social life, okay? And that's what I want. I mean, I want to meet people that are not wired to be double agents for my ex-family or whoever. You know what I mean? I want sincere conversations. I want true friendships, okay? And so I feel as though I have to sit here and go around avoiding people because I don't want people who are, you know, going to be harmful to me. I want people who I can enjoy, and vice versa. So it's this, and that would be completely fulfilling for me. I don't need to be in a marriage. I don't want to be married. And I know people think, oh, you're kidding. That's a joke. I don't fucking want to be married. I don't want it. Okay? And every time somebody does that to me or tries to put the pressure on me, I feel like you're threatening my life. Why? Because you are blocking me, you are preventing me from employment, you are preventing me from meeting other people that I want to enjoy. I should have friends in this town. I should be going out and having friends. I mean, I know we are on lockdown, okay? I realize this, but I should have a normal life. I should be having a normal life, okay? I shouldn't have to be worried about somebody, you know, and blah, 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 and all this that I didn't create, I didn't ask for. You see? And, you know, work and romance. I know a lot of people have romances nowadays in the office, and you know what? If that's what they choose to do, that's fine for them. But I don't believe in having romances in the office. I believe in keeping that separate. I believe that people should be able to pull their own weight in life, whether they're married or not. Okay? I have no intentions of getting married. Now, I personally think that Joel's family thought that I was going to marry somebody else, so they thought that this was an asset that could be taken outside the court system and that it could be divvied up. It can't be divvied up. Now, I don't really count on getting back into accounting. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I have no idea. Okay? All I know is that these people put me in this situation. Okay? I came out here on my own back in 2000 to work out here, find a little job, put my son through whatever he needed to do, and then establish myself and then grow old and die. That's basically what I came here to do. And I wanted to do this in peace. Okay? But I will tell you that for all these years that I've been working, it has been nothing but one drama after another that I didn't create. Now, if you don't agree with my lifestyle, you don't have to agree with my lifestyle. You don't. You don't have to agree with my lifestyle at all. There's people in this town that I could sit here and say, I don't agree with that, I don't agree with that, I don't agree with that, I don't agree with that. Okay? But you have the right to live your life. So we can either choose to be best friends, or we can choose to be acquaintances and respect each other and keep it moving. Okay? But one thing you don't have the right to do is to tell me how to live my life. You know, try to separate me from arts and crafts. Try to do this. You know, tell me how to wear my hair. Blah, blah, blah. All these things that you're doing. Okay? Especially when it comes from a white man telling a black woman how to wear her hair, you really have stepped off the line. Okay? Now, I didn't ask to be one of your commodity projects to where, you know, you're sitting here loaning me out to people and all this other. I never asked to do that. Okay? And I really do think the reason why, you know, I don't have the privilege of having the knowledge, direct knowledge of, you know, a conversation. Like, for example, you know, if I had an uncle, okay, and he set me up over at, I don't know, like some agricultural company, and he and I talked about it before. He's like, well, I'm going to set you up over here, and he's going to talk to the boss, and he's going to talk to him, and then we're going to get together, we're going to do this, and everything is all like done, exchanged in a way where it's all understood. Okay, the reason why these things are always undercover is because this is information gathering for my ex-family, because they like to feel like they have some sort of power. I'm their inside joke. I'm all they fucking talk about. And I will say that this sort of obsession, and yes, it's an obsession, when you have people, when you orchestrate something like this, we've already talked about people who gang stalk, people who human traffic. There is a mental disturbance in these people to do this sort of stuff. Okay, but I would say that there's some sort of obsession. A woman who's over the age of 18 years old, I don't have to justify myself to anybody. That's not defiance. It's not rebellion. It's just the way it is. Okay, it's my God-given right. You know, and so I am tired of it. I don't want to have to deal with, you know, encountering anyone else, whether they be a perp, direct perp off the streets, which I really don't get those very much anymore, thank goodness. But I don't want any more fake job interviews. I just don't want them. Okay, I don't have time for that. Okay, it's psychologically traumatized. It's traumatizing enough that you did what you did over at the farmer's place, and then did all this stuff, and then you know ended up having me blacklisted from employment agencies, and having me bounce here and all there, and then spreading all these vicious rumors about me, and then doing all this other stuff. It's, you know, if you can't put into perspective the kind of damage that you've done, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, but the very fact that it's taken me 5 years and over 1,200 videos, okay, to make you understand that what you have done is you are stalking, you have created emotional and psychological disturbance in me, you have affected me mentally, you have hurt me financially, you have devastated me, you have psychologically devastated me. Okay, and I'm saying no more to it. You know, you can't sit here and choose people's religion. You can't force people to stay married. You can't tell people how to what to wear, what kind of hobbies they're supposed to wear. Now, I understand at work, you know, you're supposed to be professional. I could be professional, okay? But I see black women all this time working, and they're doing what they want to do. The last person who job interviewed me, she was wearing the fake hair, okay? Those braids were not hers, okay? Which it didn't really occur to me that she was wearing braids until like after the conversation, like 2 days later. I'm like, she was wearing braids. Yes, okay, this is what black people do. We're black. This is what black people do. Okay? And I'm tired of people acting like, well, she can have a romance at work. I wouldn't have a romance at work. Why? Number one, I don't want to get married. I fully understand why, you know, why people want to matchmake people. Some people think it's cute. Some people want to be helpful. Some people just think, oh, I can't imagine, you know, people growing up alone. Whatever. I expect to be alone. I want to meet people that I want to meet. You know what I mean? I want friends that I want to meet. I want to meet people of all ages. I want to meet interesting people. I want to meet people who do, who are doctors. I want to meet lawyers. I want to meet artists. I want to meet, you know, painters. What do I mean by painter? People who paint the sidewalk. I want to meet people who work in grocery stores. I want to meet people in general, okay? Because I should have a social life. But I feel as if I have to hide and get away from people who seem too suspicious to me. Like, why are you asking me that? You know what I mean? And I don't appreciate it. And it causes me disturbance. And here's the thing. You know, today I was thinking, you know what? Because I feel so threatened by your presence that I keep thinking I would want to see you either in jail or somebody telling me that somebody killed you. You're dead. And the reason why I feel this way is because you have caused me that much trauma. You have caused me that much pain. You have caused me that much fear, okay, to look for a job and to get on with my life. And so, therefore, it is only natural that I want this pain to stop. Okay? What you are doing is classified as terrorism, and that's exactly what it is. Gang stalking is a form of terrorism. Okay? To try to manipulate somebody's life is terrorism. To get other people involved in it is terrorism. Why? Because it's gang stalking. Okay? And it is wrong. I have been psychologically disturbed over this issue for a very long time. And I would like to get back to work. Now, I don't know what I can do for a living. I have no idea, you know, because of this game. And I'm sorry that you devalued my life so much that you thought you can just toss my career or my goals or my plans for my life up in the air and have no fucking concern about it whatsoever. Okay? And do not take this issue lightly. Like, well, you're just making a big deal out of nothing. All I did was this. No, All you did was you bothered me in my jobs when I was living in Lancaster. You bothered me when I was in high school. You bothered me when and affected my life in the way that I lived my life when I was in junior high, in grade school. Now we're coming up to just even starting at the Murray Family Farms, which I thought what happened over there at the farmer's place was absolutely sickening. Okay, I cannot believe that this man allowed his company to sink so goddamn low in their behavior, but they did it. Okay, and then after all of that, after leaving that company, you wanted to continue the song and dance and continue the abuse all the way down the line. Every place I went. So when I start a new job to start my life over again, here you come again with your bullshit. And now we're at this point. You have my neighbors sitting here looking at me. I'm tired of it. Okay? So like I said, I will take this to court if it continues up, because I'm sick of it. But because I can get this for gang stalking, I can do this. I can get, I have restraining orders. I am going to fill them out, okay? But I'm just saying is, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Because I really do feel as though my need for closure, my need to feel like safe, my need to shut this down and to not have to deal with this ever again would be for me to see you in the back of a fucking police car because somebody arrested you and I know that you cannot bother me anymore, or somebody shoots you and got your goddamn brains out and I know that you can never bother me again, because this is too much. And I am not overreacting, because this is exactly, when they talk about post-traumatic stress disorder, people who went to war, the same effects that people deal with when they go to war is the same thing that they deal with in gang stalking. Okay? Because I will tell you, it is devastating losing your job, losing everything and picking back up and doing it all over again. Same thing when I was working over at Karen's Hot Place over in Chatsworth, okay? Now, I had to leave a bunch of stuff in Palmdale because I can't move everything on my own. So I have to leave stuff here, then I came over here, and then I'm sitting here, okay, I'm waiting for a job. I got a job over at the farmer's place. I start at the farmer's place. I'm trying to get myself settled. I'm trying to get myself established. I'm trying to work myself up and prove myself, blah, 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 blah. And guess what? More drama comes in. And, and this goes back a long time, okay? And this is not to give me a thumb thrashing, because I really want to forget you, okay? I do. I want to forget you. I don't want to think about you anymore, okay? But I will tell you, if I have to deal with one more fake job interview, I'm going to expedite my fucking, what you might call it, my court order thing, because I'm tired of it. And it's not because I'm trying to threaten you or try to be sassy. It's just I'm tired of it. I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night. I don't want to have to deal with any more shit. I don't want people trying to matchmake me. I do not want to get married ever. And I shouldn't have to explain to one person on the face of this earth why I don't want to. It's my choice. Period. Now I want to live my life, what's left of it. Okay, God knows for the last 4 years that you sucked out of my life. Actually, what's that? I left over there in 2013. For the time I left in 2013, those were valuable years that instead of feeling consumed with anxiety, I could have used my mind for constructive building of my life. Okay, there's things that I have not done in my house right now, okay, that I feel as though I am so consumed with anxiety and depression that it really prevents me from doing things. Okay, and then dealing with all the bullying from every place that I went to, and this situation should have never went further than the last employer. It just shouldn't have. Okay, when I left the farmer's place, I kept the confidentiality contract, meaning I didn't talk about it, but you guys did. So you guys are responsible for this whole thing, this whole fucking thing, and I am tired of paying the price for what you guys do. So I'm going to wrap this one up. I'm just wanted to recap all of this. I want to kind of expand my horizons. I want to meet other people. You know what I mean? And yes, I want female friends. I don't mind having male friends, but they have to understand I don't want to be in a relationship. Okay? So I just want friends. That's it. I want people coming over to my house for dinner. I want a friend that I can do arts and crafts with. I want somebody I can go to the lake with. I want somebody I can go for walks with. I want to spend time with other people, I want friends, okay? And I'm deserving of friends. And I know that I can be a great friend because, unlike most people, I don't stab people in the back, okay? But what I do feel like I have to spend a lot of time doing is avoiding people that are, what do you call it, double agents, and I don't want those. I don't want those. I want to break away and heal from this trauma. And it has been a fucking nightmare. It has been a fucking nightmare. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope every TI has a wonderful evening tonight. And I hope if you don't know who your perps are, that one day you will. And that one day you'll get some closure. And it has been a long journey. It has been a heartbreaking, painful journey, okay? And another reason why I find, when I think about my ex-family, why I get, literally, I can feel my blood pressure rising when I start to think about them, is because I knew, I couldn't figure out all these years what was causing me this pain. Why is it all of a sudden that people would just snap, like they changed, they would, I could never find a peaceful work environment. Like it would be going good at one point, and then all of a sudden it would be, chaotic the next, over the same bullshit issues, stupid petty shit, right? And so I struggled financially. I dealt with depression. Many weekends throughout my working life, I would stay at home in the fetal position, in my bed, sick, wanting to throw up, and just worrying about my job 24 hours a day. Because I didn't, I was a single parent trying to figure out how I was going to pull all this stuff together. And I was willing to, okay? And when you find out that the people that you trusted, who you thought understood, you don't mess with somebody's job, your own family is the cause of what happened to you in grade school, what happened to you in junior high, what happened to you in high school, what happened to you when you left school, what happened to you at your jobs, what happened to all these devastating things that I have suffered throughout the years, okay, is a result of what they did. I feel like, it's kind of like one of those things where, like one of those movies where, like, sleeping with the enemy, or you find out that the person, like one of those movies where, you take the mask off somebody and it's all electronical paneling, or they're a monster, or there's some sort of ghoul or something. It's weird. It's like, I don't know these people, because it would never come into my heart to do anything like this. Anything like this, okay? So, and I know that I'm not the only target. There's people who there was a guy who wrote an article about his experience. His brother was doing this to him, and he found out about it. And there's a lot of people who they get to a certain age and they realize they're the scapegoat of the family. They start looking back on their memories and like, well, this happened, and they find out that other people were a part of this little orchestrated game playing type thing. And many people, some people commit suicide because it's a very devastating thing. Knowing that you thought this person was your friend, you thought this person, but they weren't. They were setups. They were people that were in communication with your family. They weren't your true friends. And you shared things with them. You cared about these people. You had emotional bonds with them, but it was all set up. And that is emotional devastating. So people realize at one point, I don't have anyone in my life that I care about. These people betrayed me. So some people, they can't handle it. And I can understand if people go off the deep end, because it's a very painful thing. Okay? And I understand that, some people, they don't know the difference between right from wrong. I will say, if my family is ignorant, then I would say that's pretty damn ignorant. Especially if you have proven your point 5 years ago, and you also made 500, you've been talking about this, I've been talking about this since 2015, and I made over 1,200 videos about this issue. So you're either ignorant or you're fucking evil. Either one. But whatever the case is, I want to be done with you. So I'm going to wrap up this video, and this is the last video I want to talk about my ex-family and Joel's family and everyone else for that matter. And I would like to change the content of my video. I have been thinking about that myself, because I want to move away from this. I really do. I want to move away from it. I want to stop thinking about it. I don't want to focus on it anymore. And I want to get away from gang stalking all the way around, all the way around. And I know that there's some weirdo out here somewhere, because you can't stop that shit. That's one of the reasons why they call it a program. That's one of the reasons why you're supposed to keep certain things confidential when it comes to work-related issues, because you expose me to a public that could be hostile. Okay? But I will not deal with fake job interviews anymore. And anybody who continues to do it, and then we will just expedite more processes, because I'm tired of it. I am fucking tired of it. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I will be back with another one. Have a wonderful night, TIs, and stay safe.